Hi everybody and welcome back. In this video we are going to digitize this really cool mug rug. Actually we're going to stitch it out. We already did digitize it. So the first thing we're going to do is stitch out our placement line, and it is just on some tearaway backing to make everything a lot easier. So stitch out your placement line, put down your batting, and then your pretty material goes on top of that. And the next thing we're going to stitch is just to hold that down. This is just a single stitch, and we're just going to hold everything together to keep it all looking nice. After that, we're going to stitch out an extra line that I added in, and I just thought it looked pretty, and so I thought I'd just leave it in. It just kind of added a little bit of fanciness to it, and it's just a motif run, and I just really liked it with the edges, the corners that way. The next thing to stitch out is going to be the embellishments, the beautiful designs on it. Now you can design it how you want. I thought this one was really nice. It had a lot of, different elements to it, and I really like the leaves. So I picked black and I picked red and green for the leaves, and I thought it looked really nice. I thought it was a great selection of colors. So I did change the thread to do the green part. I just wanted them to stand out a bit more, and I was trying to do a really classy looking monogram mug rug. So the monogram part, I wanted it to be really classy. Now this stitches out amazingly. This is exactly how to do it. We digitized this in part 1. So this is part 2, stitching it out, and all the steps that we were very careful to create in our digitizing software. This is when we need to put them in action. So I'd like to mention too that I'm just using a layer cake from craftsy.com. That's the fabric, and I picked 2 matching colors for it, or 2 matching patterns, I guess. I wanted the back pretty simple and the middle part, the applique, a little fancier. So I'm loving how the green parts are stitching out. I think it looks great. Now once all the green is done stitching out, we are going to do our positioning line for our applique. Now I love the shape of the applique part, the inner part of the monogram. I thought it was really neat. A lot of different software have really cool shapes like this, and I think it's just perfect. So once the placement line goes down, you grab your fabric. Now I'm using, of course, like I said, a layer cake, and this is matching perfectly, and I'm only using a small part of the fabric, and this is what gave me the idea to do the matching card, and we're going to be doing that in the next video. So place your fabric down, make sure it stays nicely. I didn't put anything on it, but it's just a part of it. Let it stitch out to hold everything down, and once that happens, we're going to take it to our table and we're going to carefully cut it out. Now make sure you have really nice applique scissors. I am using my favorite gun old applique scissors, and try to get as close as you can to the line. The shape is a little bit, intricate, I guess, and a little bit fiddly, but just take each curve at a time and you'll make a really nice cut. There was an extra stitch there for some reason, but we'll just trim it out, right? So be careful. The more careful you are on trimming your applique, the better your final applique is going to look. Make sure you don't pull too much, and be really careful cutting. So once that's cut out, we're going to take it back to the machine. It does a zigzag stitch to hold everything down, and then it'll do a bit of an underlay stitch just to keep everything down more, and then our beautiful satin stitches are going to start stitching. Now I may have liked my satin stitches to be a little bit thicker. There's different sizes of it. I think if you make them a little bit wider, thicker I said, but wider, then it will definitely cover up any boo-boos. But I was really careful cutting my fabric, so I'm not that worried about it. And I love the shape, like I said, and I love the thick black satin stitches. I thought it looked absolutely fantastic. So these are just the finishing touches onto the monogram part that we created. Now this was all built in Hatch 2, and I thought the design was absolutely fantastic. So let your satin stitches finish, and then for this one you're going to do a quick thread color change, and I'm going to go back to that gorgeous green and do kind of an embellishment line, the green line, and it is just it's not a satin stitch, it's like a motif stitch, and I just thought it added a little bit extra to it, and it looks fantastic. I'm almost thinking, other than the black, I'm almost thinking to convert this into like a Christmas design. It's that awesome. So once that's done, we're on the last part of the stitching part, and that's the initials. Now I just added my initials, but in the video part 1 I did mom. So there are rules for monogramming, but nobody says you have to stick with it. So I thought mom, it may be a little unconventional, but I did think it looked fantastic. So you could do mom, you could do dad. I think it's a great idea for a gift. So look at that. The black looks so nice on the red. A little bit plain fabric, but I think it looks really good. It really stands out in contrast. And I also really like the shape of the letters and how well it fits into the monogram elements that we have going on. So all in all, pretty easy to do. It looks really good. It is perfect, absolutely perfect. The colors, the stitching, the fabric. It really also didn't take very long to stitch out. So if you are looking for a quick gift, this is something spectacular. It's personal, it's easy to do, and I think anyone who you give this to would absolutely love it, especially moms or dads on Mother's Day. How cool is that? Oh, just loving it. So I will be using this one at my desk every day because I like it so much. It's so groovy. So once the initials are done, that's when we're going to start working on our backing part. So I picked some kind of crappy fabric that I had. It would be much better if I used pieces of fabric from the layer cake, but no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use silky, unironable, stretchy kind of fabric. So I fiddle around with it. I cut it out from the video because you guys don't need to see me playing fabric chicken anymore. And I do use a little bit of tape to hold it down because I picked such crappy fabric. So whatever you got to do to make it come together is fantastic. Don't worry about stitching through the tape. That works fine. I just didn't want McDreamy to get caught up on it. Once that is finished stitching out, and hopefully goes smoother than my stitch out, if you use the right fabric, it will. Once that's done, we are actually done. This is a no-sew mug rug, which is one of my favorite parts. You don't have to do anything else to it. Take off your tape, and if you sewed through it, you can see it comes off rather nicely. It's not a big deal. And carefully tear away your backing. Now it's tearaway backing, but make sure you hold on to your stitches like I am to make sure nothing gets pulled. Now you can cut it out, get some nice sharp scissors, cut it out through all the layers and make it as close as possible to the line, but be really careful not to overcut or cause any problems. Keep all your fabric scraps as well. They came in handy. Once it's all cut out, that's when you can do the turning. And grab your scissors or grab chopsticks or something like that. I just use my nails, sometimes scissors, to push out the corners. You may want to clip the corners as well. See, I'm just giving it a little push there. It seems to work. Fiddle around with it. You're going to need to iron it a little bit too when you're done, just to make it look really good. I decided on the bottom half to clip the corners, but look, isn't this fantastic? It looks so good. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you guys will digitize and stitch along with me on this one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!